Desire is information and not instruction. There are few things, very few things that confuse people more than desire. Especially people who are disciplined, people of faith, people who have put in effort into being good. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're not bad people. They're very disciplined. They care about who they are. They care about their actions, how they act. And, we are taught very early to distrust what we want, to be suspicious of attraction, to downplay curiosity, to suppress longing, like my English people say. And so when desire shows up quietly or loudly, people panic. They ask, is something wrong with me? Why am I thinking this? Why am I feeling pulled in this direction? Why am I feeling pulled towards this person or towards this thing? Now, let me offer you a different thing, okay? Desire is not a command. Desire is information. What kind of information? It tells you where your attention is being pulled. It makes you aware of where your attention, whether bodily attention or spiritual or physical, whatever, but it lets you know where your attention is being pulled. When life is asking you to notice something, where growth or healing or a new season is trying to emerge. But the mistake many people make is assuming that every desire is meant to be acted on. Everything you feel is meant to be acted on. Come on. That's not maturity. It's not maturity at all. Maturity is discernment. Just because a desire exists does not mean that we have to obey it. Although ignoring it is completely as dangerous. Ignoring it is just as dangerous as doing what you desire to do. So what happens when desire is suppressed? I'll tell you just a few that I know. When desire is consistently ignored, it does not disappear. It goes on the ground. You ignore it, right? It's not gone. It goes somewhere on the ground. It doesn't die. It doesn't go back to village people. It's somewhere. And when it goes under, when it's no longer obvious, it becomes distorted. And when it becomes distorted, it now shows up as resentment, emotional numbness, quiet dissatisfaction that you cannot explain, like things that you're not interested in all those exciting things of life. It shows up as burnout or sudden impulsive decisions later in life. Many midlife crises are not about recklessness. They're about years of unheard desires finally demanding attention. Not because the person is immoral, but because we're human, right? Because we are human, we are wired. God put these desires in us. We did not buy them in a supermarket. It's there. We were given freely to use for good reasons, right? So when it comes up, it's an information, it's a signal. It's not a command that go ye, go and do. But then when you suppress it, it becomes distorted. It shows up as all that research for someone competent, respected, stable, will still feel disinterested in life. Even people that used to have faith, they serve God, but internally you just find that you feel dry. This dryness that you cannot explain. It shows up in relationships. They say you came with baggage. They say you came with trauma. Or the language is sharp, let's see. We know what we call them. Someone will be in a relationship the person is emotionally disengaged. In all these cases, the issue is not sin. It's not laziness. It's not ingratitude. The issue is unexamined desire. Desire that you have not examined. And before you get me wrong about desire, scripture does not teach us to amputate desire. The only reason it talks about desire is that if one hand causes you to sin, cut it off. Desire in itself is not sin. No. This is what you do about your desire. So scripture teaches us to order our desires. Order it. It's there for a reason. So order it, guide it, mentor it, lead it. The whole Psalms or Songs of Solomon is full of longings. It's full of desires. It's a romantic book. It's full of all those things. Even Jesus desired solitude. He desired rest. He desired companionship. He had disciples. He had friends. People used to go and visit. So it's not wrong to desire companionship if that's what you're desiring. Desire becomes destructive only when it's denied language, wisdom, and restraint. God does not fear your desires. Maybe now they fear your feelings. Maybe you are scared of your own desires, but God is not afraid of them. Which is why He invites you into discernment. The question is not, why do I want this? The better question is, what is this desire pointing to that needs attention? What's this desire telling me? And so you sit with it gently. You don't rush the process. You ask yourself, what have I been feeling drawn toward lately? Not so that you act on it, oh, just so that you understand. You understand? What curiosity have I dismissed too quickly? What curiosity have I dismissed too quickly? I know someone that used to like men, was married for years, and then suddenly she started feeling attracted towards women. I wouldn't be the one to say, God forbid, though. Why am I attracted to women? I said, pay attention to yourself. What's changing about you? What's this trying to tell you? Or what did you go through or something? But there's some research that has to be done. It's not something you jump up into it. God forbid, all of my me like women. There's a reason. So if you process that process, you come up with what you're supposed to gain from that information that your body's telling you. So ask yourself, what longing have I labeled, God forbid, have I labeled inconvenient? The finding and actualizing that I do is not about indulgence, so it's not about go ye and do. It's about awareness before action. Awareness. You cannot align what you refuse to acknowledge. You cannot direct what you refuse to acknowledge. And you cannot steward what you ignore. This is February. Some people, the feelings that they have been keeping in a jar and silly. Plenty people will come and knock that jar over and they'll start spilling. They'll start realizing, everybody has a vow. I don't have a vow. Oh God, I'm lonely. Oh God, this season is going to bring a lot of things. So if you were suppressing things, get ready to be triggered. Get ready to be triggered. Get ready to be prepared. But be that as it may, we're not scared of our feelings. We face them face front. We face them head on and ask the feelings that I feel and for whom I feel it for. What is it telling me? And I know it might sound like it's just feelings towards human beings. No, you might be feeling like buying a puppy, buying a dog. You just feel like buying a dog is selling you stuff. Okay. All right. So as I was saying, you cannot align what you refuse to acknowledge, and you cannot steward what you refuse to name. You cannot steward what you refuse to name. Do the work. Find out why you're feeling what you're feeling. Dig deep. Dig deep within yourself. Be truthful to yourself. Stop dodging. It's not a sin to have feelings. It's not a sin to have desires, for crying out loud. You just gotta ask yourself why you're feeling them, and then take the necessary decisions and know what you want to do with it. But you are not dangerous because you have desires. You are not dangerous. You're human, right? The work is not to silence desire. The work is to listen wisely. Listen wisely. Listen to yourself. And then let that wisdom flow into the actions that you choose to take after. So, this is finding. What am I saying? Okay, well, enjoy your world. See you. Do the work. Do what you gotta do. Own your feelings. Own your desires. Respect them. Honor them. Gain the information you need to gain. Pay attention to the things it's saying you should pay attention. Do what you can do when you can do it, if it aligns with your values, who you are, or your timing and all of that. Okay. Bye. Bye.